Hello guys, welcome back to Short Story Arena from 2. And then today's I will tell about a story which is Unhappily Ever After. So in this story, got a man which is called Albert Jenkins. We usually call him Albert. This day, Albert was going to a house which is his friend's house because his friend want him to do something, and then his friend will just wanted to take him to show him something. But Albert will feel that a little bit afraid because his friend is not so kind at all, or maybe his friend is what you say quite he will easily lose his temper. So Albert didn't want to make him feel angry. So Albert just can accept this request and then to find him. So when he go when he arrived to his friend's house, and then he started to knock the door, and then his friends named Brown opened the door and then saw him arrive, so that he might welcome him to go into his house. And then Brown's in Brown's house, Albert saw something that is quite interesting because they are adult already, but Brown still got his own school uniform that is hang on a nail and then beside the cupboard. And then suddenly Brown start to talk with him, and then Brown's actions were quite terrible because Brown seems want to threaten him, and then Brown started to touch Albert's hair, and then suddenly Brown turn around, go near to his cupboard, and then tell Albert to take this strap, S-T-R-A-P. Albert is really afraid, but he cannot do anything, but only follow his order. So that Albert go to take the strap away from the cupboard, and then Brown call him to follow him out from the house and then to the dock. From there is a small boat. Brown and Albert step into the boat, and then the Brown start to launch the boat engines, and then they are away from the land to the sea, to the middle of the sea. And there, Brown had some terrible moment, because at there suddenly the boat is flip upside down by something, some of the mysterious power, so that they are drowned. But after a moment, Brown woke up, and then Brown think that he's supposed to be blacked out when the ship flip upside down, and then they drown. But Brown was the only survivor on this boat. He saw Albert disappear, and then he start to have a gaze on the around the sea. But he did not see any of the shadow of the Albert. So that, and then suddenly he heard some sound, and then he looked into the sea. In the sea, there is some shadows of the animals, and then this shadow was very big. When Brown head into the sea, he saw there are two giant lobsters catching a people, and then throw the people into a big pot, like like a pot of a soup, and then the man is naked, and then he is screaming, and then calling for help, but no one will help him because this is the middle of the sea. There are two huge monsters that caught you, and then the monster will try their best to eat, to cook a delicious food and then eat. So that in this, when Brown saw this, Brown was very amazed, and then had a fear, feel very afraid about it. So that he tried to relax himself on the boat, but something more terrifying happened. Suddenly, his mind appeared many images of there is monsters, huge animals catching people, throw into the pot, to make a soup. Many times appears in his mind. So that Brown start to relax, calm down and stay cool. And then he tell himself this is just a nightmare. He need to away from this nightmare now. So and then suddenly the scene turn into a wooden house, which is Brown's original house. And then in the house, Brown feels that the furniture in his house are very big, very huge, and then he felt that he is a small little boy, and then wearing his own uniform, school uniform, wearing a bag. And then suddenly he saw Albert came in. Albert came in, saw him, and then he is not like I say not bother him, but just head to the cupboard because there is a strap there. Albert want to take the strap away, and then head off from this house to the boat. So this is what Brown was very worried about. Brown was worried that this nightmare will be, what you say, this is a cycling nightmare. This is an endless nightmare. This is what he was afraid about. From the beginning, the Brown show him a letter from this until this very terrible nightmare. So this is what the story talking about. Brown asked Albert to come to his house, show him a paper that is there is someone hear something or see something in the middle of the sea lah. And then he wanted to discover, and then but somehow this terrible thing happens to himself, and then this is what his worst nightmare in his life. And then we do know how the Brown will face another thing or not, and then how his life will going, because this story will just end at here. So thank you for hearing this story, and then see you next time for the next short story arena.